So, good day, sir. Ang naisip po naming title ng case study namin is Modernization of IT Infrastructure with Windows Server Implementation. Um, ang naisip po naming organization is Stark Organization. By the way po, I'm Maria Luisa Di Daggio, and ang groupmate ko po is si Guway Christian. We're both from SIT 3-1, Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, Tintech 2201. Okay, sa executive summary, ito yung part na nag-overview ng buong project, ano yung problema, solusyon, and benefits sa organization. Yung current IT problems ng organizational challenge. Dito po sa part na yun, pinapakita namin yung current situation sa Stark organization. Wala po silang centralized login system, kaya bawat department may sariling paraan ng pag-manage ng users. Medyo nakaka-confuse po siya kasi minsan kung kailangan ng file sa ibang department, nade-delay sila dahil scattered and walang proper structure. Mahina rin yung file security, so sensitive info, prone po siya sa unauthorized access. Wala rin proper backup, kaya kapag may system failure, human error o cyber incident, may risk na mawala yung important data. Dito nakikita namin na urgent talaga yung improvement para sa productivity, security, and compliance. Dito po sa pangalawang paragraph, ito po yung proposed solution namin, which is Windows Server Implementation. After ma-highlight yung problema, dito namin papakita yung solusyon. Yung Windows Server na, kaya nitong i-centralize lahat ng major IT services, tulad ng Active Directory para sa user management, file services para sa secure sharing, and Hyper-V para sa virtualization. Virtualized setup, hindi na kailangan ng separate physical server bawat service. Mas flexible siya and madaling i-expand sa future. Yung goal po is to bigyan ng IT admins ng better control sa users, files, and operations. Mabawasan yung manual work and mas reliable ang systems. And yung third paragraph is yung benefits ng long-term impact ng gagawin naming proposed subject. Sa benefits, user management magiging faster and organized, then yung IT staff po makakatipid sa oras and errors. Sa file sharing, syempre po magiging secure and accessible. Smoother collaboration din. May regular backup din, so mababawasan po yung risk ng tinatawag na data loss. Habang lumalaki yung organization, kaya ng server mag-scale for extra users without, ayun nga po, yung major changes. So overall, yung proposed solution po namin is ma-improve po yung productivity, mas strengthen yung security, and mas support yung group, and reliable and cost-effective para sa future IT operations. Sa organizational and technical background naman po, dito namin sinasabi yung context ng company and current IT setup bago mag-propose ng solution. First paragraph po, dito lang po yung organizational overview. Dito, pinapakita namin kung ano ang company and paano sila gumagana araw-araw. Medium-sized company po ang Stark Organization. Meron po silang 150 to 200 users sa iba't ibang departments like yung finance, HR, IT, operations, and other customer support. So, syempre po, bawat department may kanya-kanyang tasks and systems, pero kailangan din mag-share ng data. Hindi kasi maiiwasan talaga yun. And makipag-communicate sa iba. Kaya sobrang importante na may organized IT infrastructure. Kasi habang lumalaki yung company, let's say, 3 to 5 years, mas maraming user and data yung dadagdag. At kung walang proper plan, pwede itong mag-lead sa technical issues and inefficiency. So, centralized server system yung makakatulong para mas smooth yung coordination and workflow sa lahat ng departments. Okay? And then yung pangalawang paragraph po is current system setup. So, sa ngayon, yun nga po, as overview, decentralized setup yung ginagamit. Meaning, bawat department nagmamanage ng sariling user and files. Yung result po nito is inconsistent siya sa access control and mahirap i-track yung user activity. When it comes to file sharing, kadalasan sa email o personal storage devices. Kaya nagre-result siya na hindi secure and medyo inefficient. Wala ring central monitoring. Kaya mahirap makita agad kung may issues o security threats. Sa backup process, mostly manual o hindi regular kaya mataas yung risk na mawala yung important data. Dito makikita na kailangan talaga ng improvement para mas supportahan ang daily operations ng company. Then, dito rin yung existing issues and risk. Ang current setup may ilang challenges na nakaka-apekto sa business. First, security risk kasi hindi kontrolado kung sino yung pwedeng mag-access ng certain files o system. Pwede itong mag-lead ng data breaches o accidental exposures. Second, inefficiency kasi mas maraming oras ang employees sa paghanap at pag-manage ng files kaysa gawin yung actual work nila. And then, walang proper backups, kaya pwedeng mawala yung data kapag may, let's say, hardware failure, system crash. So, lahat to pwedeng mag-cause ng downtime, financial loss, and damage sa reputation din ng company. Hindi naman na bago yun na nangyayari, especially nowadays. So, kaya important na ma-address yung issues na ito para mas stable and secure yung operations. And then, yung projected group, kasi let's say 3 to 5 years, baka mas dumami pa yung client, dami yung data. So, kasi ang company, inaasahan nila mag-grow sila sa ilang taon. Magkakaroon ng mas maraming employees, bagong department, and additional applications. So, kailangan nila ng better IT support and advanced systems para mas ma-handle and increase yung workload. So, current infrastructure, hindi siya flexible enough. So, pwede magka-problema sa performance and delays kung walang scalable solutions. So, mas mahirap i-manage yung users and yung data habang lumalaki yung company. So, sa pamamagitan ng Windows servers, mas prepared ang organization para sa growth and maiwasan yung major system problems. Kailangan talaga proper plan ngayon pa lang para masiguro na efficient and reliable yung maging IT system in the long run. So, sa technical implementation naman po, dito namin sinasabi kung paano exactly gagawin yung solutions. So, first is yung server setup. Dito, magsiset-up kami ng Windows server sa virtual environment gamit yung Hyper-V, which is nabanggit naman po sa executive summary. Kung idea dito is hindi na kailangan ng physical server sa bawat department. Okay, nandun po yun sa PPT. Mas flexible and madali siyang scale kung dumami ang users in the future. Sa setup po na ito, IT staff makakapag-manage ng servers, users, and application ng centralized. Wala nang hassle sa pagpunta sa ibang system para, po, makapag-update. And then, Active Directory configuration. Susunod isi-setup namin yung Active Directory para sa user management and authentication. Dito lahat ng accounts ng employees naka-centralized kaya mas madali and naka-assign yung rules, permission, and policies. Pwede rin i-monitor agad kung sino yung nag-access ng data, which is helpful para sa security and transparency na rin. Sa AT din, madali gumawa ng groups para sa bawat department para smooth ang collaboration and access control. Then, files and data management. So, kasi para sa files, gamit kami ng centralized file shares. Lahat po ng department may secure location for data. Hindi na kailangan ng email o external storage. Ito rin yung may access control para safe and sensitive yung info. IT staff makakapag-automate ng backups para less and risk yung data loss. Mas magiging organized po and efficient yung data handling ng company. Sa maintenance naman and monitoring, which is very helpful, mag-set up kami para sa monitoring and maintenance. Magamit kami ng tools para makita agad ang system performance, errors, and security threats. So sa IT staff, makakapag-respond agad kung may issues, kaya mas reliable and stable yung system. Automatic din yung backups and logs. So kahit may audit or inspection, ready kung sino man yung staff na responsible para doon. Okay, sa technical requirements analysis naman po tayo. Dito namin ipapaliwanag kung ano talaga yung kailangan ng server para ma-support ng maayos yung operations ng organization. Parang blueprint siya ng system kung ano dapat kayang gawin and paano dapat gumawa para smooth ang workflow ng organization. So, meron tayong functional requirements. Sa functional requirements, dito tinitignan natin yung mga specific na task na kayang gawin ng server. Kailangan na may Active Directory domain services para centralize ang user account management, authentication, and permissions. Para sa file management, may secure storage and sharing na makakatulong sa smooth collaboration ng bawat department. Yun nga, gagamit tayo ng Hyper-V virtualization para sa multiple virtual machines at tatakbo sa isang physical server. So, mas tipid sa hardware and mas flexible kung sakaling kailangan ng additional server in the future. Pwede rin mag-host ng internal web applications and databases para sa mga department-specific needs. So, yung kailangan dito is matiyak na lahat ng user makaka-access sila ng resources nila ng secured and syempre, efficiently. Hindi na kailangan na mag-alala ng, baka magulo, ganun. And then, we have also non-functional requirements. Syempre, bukod sa functionality, kailangan din tingnan yung non-functional requirements. Kasi hindi lang basta kayang gawin ng system yung task. Kailangan din reliable and smooth na magawa yung task. First is yung high availability. Dapat tuloy-tuloy yung server and minimal yung downtime. Then, performance is the key. Kasi kahit maraming user, dapat yung nakaka-access. Hindi dapat yung, alam mo yun, yung bumabagal. Kasi nakaka-irita yun. And yun, nakaka-delay ng gawain. Security din, dapat solid siya. Dapat may firewalls, antivirus, and dapat secure yung login methods para protected yung data. And then, scalability. Yun nga sa lahat ng organization. Kailangan na scalable kasi habang lumalaki yung company, kailangan na kayang i-support ng system yung mga additional users and applications. At syempre, ah, reliability, dapat stable and hindi palaging nagka-crash yung system para wala syempre interruption sa work. Yung mga requirements na 'to, yung nagpapanatag na maayos yung operation kahit dumami yung users sa trabaho. And then, system integration. Lastly, kailangan natin siguraduhin na mag-work seamlessly yung new server rather, sorry, sa existing systems and devices. Kasama dito yung current applications, network printers, and iba pang IT tools na ginagamit na. Importante ito para walang major disruption sa workflow ng employees. Halimbawa, let's say, yung email system and internal apps. Dapat smooth yung integration sa Active Directory para, syempre, maayos yung authentication. Yung network devices tulad ng switches and routers, dapat compatible siya sa bagong server environment para walang issues sa connectivity, which is naturo dati ni Ma'am Anacel. Kapag maayos yung integration planning, mas magiging smooth yung transition and mas madaling gamitin lahat ng new system. So, sa deployment strategy naman, dito namin tinitingnan kung paano i-deploy yung Windows Server para maging mas effective sa organization. Basically, may tatlong common ways: on-premise, virtualized, and cloud-based. So, on-premise deployment, yung on-premise setup, yung server physically nasa loob ng company. Advantage dito, full control kayo sa hardware, data, and system configuration. Important lalo na sa sensitive information. Pero disadvantage, mas mataas yung initial cost kasi kailangan ng equipment, space, and regular maintenance ng IT staff. So, medyo heavy sa budget and manpower sa start. Sa virtualized deployment naman, isang physical server lang, pero kaya mag-run ng multiple virtual machines. Dito pwede sabay-sabay mag-operate ng ibang service tulad ng Active Directory, file sharing, and applications. Advantage, mas tipid sa hardware and mas effective siya gamitin, especially sa system resources. Madali rin i-manage and i-backup kumpara sa traditional setup. Siyempre, kailangan pa rin ng proper configuration and monitoring. Pero overall, practical siya sa budget and performance. And then, last is yung cloud-based deployment. Cloud-based naman, online yung server sa provider. So, pwede ma-access kahit saan basta ma-internet. Flexible siya and madaling i-scale, pero heavily dependent sa internet, tungkol sa storing, and, sensitive sa data offsite. May ongoing subscription, something yun. So, yung recommended option na naisip namin nung groupmate ko is virtualized deployment. So, para sa organization, pinakabagay yung virtualized deployment kasi balance siya sa cost, control, and scalability. Pwedeng multiple services yung patakbuhin sa isang physical server, kaya mas effective siya, mas efficient, pero strong performance pa rin. Madali rin ma-expand sa future, basta gumawa lang ng bagong virtual machines. No need ng yung extra hardware ko dun. Compared sa on-premise, mas efficient siya sa resource use compared sa cloud-based. So, lahat ng data na nasa loob ng company pa rin. So, mas secure and controlled. Limitation lang, kailangan ng trained IT staff at initial setup effort para ma-configure yun ang tama. Pero manageable naman. With syempre, proper planning, then overall perfect siya sa current size ng company. And yun nga, yung long-term growth support. So, sa Windows Server Edition selection naman po, dito namin pinipili kung aling edition ng Windows Server yung pinaka-angkop sa needs ng organization. Kaya nga po nung nabanggit sa may lecture, may tatlong main editions: Standard, Data Center, and Essentials. So, dapat piliin yung pinaka-practical sa kasalukuyang size and future plans ng company. So, sa appropriate edition, Standard. So, para sa company na may 150 to 200 users and planong mag-virtualize deployment, Standard Edition yung bagay. Kasi kaya nitong i-support yung multiple virtual machines na match sa setup namin. Pwede dito patakbuhin yung important services tulad ng Active Directory, file sharing, and basic application hosting. Mas affordable siya kumpara sa Data Center Edition, pero hindi kukulangin sa current needs. Essential Edition naman, hindi recommended kasi may limit siya sa number of users and virtualization features. Baka ma-short yung capacity kapag lumaki yung organization. So, choosing Standard Edition is basically good balance sa performance, features, and cost. Hindi rin mag-over-invest sa feature na hindi pa kailangan ngayon. Sa long-term benefits, bukod sa current needs, may benefits din sa feature. Standard Edition allows easy expansions, meaning pwede mag-add ng more virtual machines sa pamamagitan ng extra licenses. Hindi kailangan palitan yung buong system. Kaya mas tipid sa long-term cost and avoid major system changes. Kaya rin nitong isupport yung additional users and services sa next 3 years without slowing down performance. kung mag-upgrade ng hardware tulad ng RAM o storage, walang compatibility issues. Plus, compliant pa rin sa Microsoft licensing rules. So, safe kung may audit. Overall, standard edition for us ng groupmate ko is mas practical. So, sapat siya sa ngayon and ready na rin siya sa group ng company in the future. Sa licensing computation and compliance naman, dito namin ipapaliwanag kung paano kailangan i-compute yung license ng Windows Server at bakit importante talaga na tama. So, sa core licenses, kasi ang Windows Server Standard Edition ay per core licensing. Meaning, based sa total CPU cores sa server, sa case natin, may 2 processors na may 8 cores bawat isa. So, total 16 cores. Ang Microsoft rules, license are sold in 2 cores packs, kaya 16 divide 2 is equals to 8 core license pack ang kailangan. Simple siya, pero importante, ting step siya kasi kung mali dito, pwede kang magkaroon ng problem sa compliance. And then, client access license. Bukod sa core license, kailangan din ng user calls para sa bawat employee na gagamit ng server. Since around 200 users ang company, kailangan 200 user client access license. Ito yung legal na paraan para magamit yung services tulad ng Active Directory, file storage, and internal applications. Kung kulang yung client access license or CAL, hindi lang legal issue, pwedeng ma-affect yung daily operations. Fees ng under licensing. So, baka tamarin kayong mag-ano ng license nyo. You know, ito yung risk pag under license. Can be serious. Kung ma-audit and kulang ang licenses, pwedeng may penalties o fines kasi illegal yun. Maaring may ang access sa system services and maaring walang support o updates mula sa Microsoft na makaka-apekto, syempre, sa security and performance. So, mas practical siya and safe na simulan ng tama yung licensing. So, long-term benefits is pag tama ang licensing computation, which is yung kanina, magiging smooth yung operation, legal yung compliance, and continuous yung support. Sa long run, mas tipid and hassle-free, ito kaya mas kaysa naman magbayad ng penalties o ayusin yung system issues kapag nagkamali sa licenses. Simple siya pero crucial step para ma-maintain yung stability and security ng IT environment ng isang company tulad ng Stark operation. Then, sa hardware specification proposal, dito ipapaliwanag kung ano yung mga hardware components na kailangan ng isang server and bakit importante yun para sa current workload and future growth ng isang company. So, hardware specifications, yung proposed server ay may dual processor system na may 8 core CPUs, kaya kaya niya mag-handle ng virtualization at sabay-sabay na services. Memory-wise, may 64 GB siya na pwede i-expand hanggang 128 GB kapag kailangan. So storage, 1 TB para sa OS and frequently used application para mabilis yung performance. And 4 TB HDD sa RAID, then para protection and redundancy ng data. So, may dual PSU para kung may power failure, hindi titigal yung server. Kasama rin dito yung network interface cards and controllers para stable yung network communication. Ang setup na to is to ensure na efficient yung server and ready siya for future upgrades. So, yun. So, bawat component pipili namin para sa performance, reliability, scalability. So, multiple stable yung virtual machines and applications. So, kahit heavy usage. Sorry. SSD, mabilis lalo na sa boot and frequent data access. RAID 10, kasi protection siya sa disk failure and then dual PSU for extra safety sa power interruption. Syempre, good cooling, stable ang performance. Lahat na to is together, maliles yung downtime and mas magiging efficient yung isang operation. Kaya reliable ang server for daily tasks and future expansion. Then, environmental and safety requirements. Very important. So, importante yung environment and safety para sa long-term stability. Kailangan ng UPS para sa backup power and safe shutdown sa outage. Proper cooling system para hindi mag-overheat. Physical security, server dapat nakalock sa rack or dedicated yung server room with limited access. Hindi lahat nakakapasok. Ganun. Pwede rin maglagay ng monitoring tools para i-track yung temperature, power usage, ganun, and system condition real time. Sa proper environmental and safety practices, less risk ng hardware damage, data loss, and unexpected downtime. So, yung overall impact nun is, sa ganitong setup, yung server, hindi lang kaya ang present needs ng organization, kundi ready na rin for future growth. And combination ng powerful hardware, redundancy, and proper environmental setup, magre-result siya na mas maging reliable, efficient, and secure yung IT foundation para sa company.
Bill of materials. The bill of materials, or BOM, shows all the components needed to build the system. It includes hardware, software, network device, and services. For hardware, the main server is a Dell Rack server designated for virtualization. It is supported by fast SSD storage, backup HDD storage, UPS for power protection, and the server rack for safety and organization. For software, the system uses Windows Server 2023 standard, user calls for around 200 users, and antivirus for security. For network and security, switches and the firewall are used to provide stable connection and protect the network from threats. Services such as installation, configuration, and backup setup are also included to ensure proper deployment. The total estimated cost is around 1.18 million, which covers a complete and scalable system. Budget and financial analysis. The budget is divided into four main parts: hardware, software, network security, and services. Software takes a large portion because of licensing, especially the user costs. Even if the cost is high, it provides long term benefits such as improved performance, better security, and reduced downtime. It also helps avoid risks like data loss, system failure, and legal issues from improper licensing. This make the investment cost effective for the organization. Security architecture. Security is implemented using multi-layers. Access control is managed through Active Directory where user roles and permissions are assigned. Only authorized user can access specific files and system. A firewall protects the network by filtering traffic while VPN allows secure remote access. User activities such as login and file changes are recorded using audit log for monitoring. Daily automated backups and offsite storage ensure that data can be recovered during failures or attacks. These measures protect the sensitive data and ensure system reliability. Implementation plan. The implementation will take about 4 weeks and follow a structured process. Week 1, focus on preparing hardware, software, and network setup. Week 2, include installation of Windows servers and configuration of Active Directory, file services, and virtualization. Week 3, it involved migration of user accounts, files, and system integration. Week 4 is for testing, validation, and performance checking. The migration is done in stages to reduce disruptions, and pullbacks up are created before transfer. The IT team support staff and department head will work together to ensure smooth implementation, scalability, and future plans. The system is designed to support growth, the future growth. As the number of users increase, additional user calls can be added. Hardware upgrades such as RAM, CPU, and storage can also be done to handle higher workloads. Virtualizations allow more virtual machines to run without needing new physical servers. If demand becomes higher, the system can upgrade to Windows Server Data Center Edition, which support unlimited virtualization. This ensures flexibility and long-term usability. Risk assessment. The project considered technical, operational, and financial risks. Technical risks include hardware failure, system downtime, and misconfiguration. Operational risks include delay during migration and user adjustment to the new system. Financial risks include unexpected costs and licensing issues. To reduce these risks, the system used redundant hardware, regular backups, monitoring tools, and proper planning. Security policies and compliance with standards also help maintain system safety and stability. Yeah, here's our conclusion. The proposed Windows Server solution provides a strong and reliable IT infrastructure. It's combined high performance hardware, secure network design, and proper system management. The system improved efficiency, strengthened security, and ensured data protection. It's also scalable and ready for future expansion, making it a long term solution for the organization. Thank you.